Here's the thing about me. I have a hard time figuring out what to wear for a thing like this. So I hope you like what I went with. But I had these other options, right? And I was unsure. So I thought, like, do I go a little more professional than like the waffle shirt and wear the blue collared shirt, or I could go with the gray collared shirt. I thought that also. And I'm not hearing any votes. But then I was thinking, like, there's all these like other parts of me that I want to express here as well, right? Like, I want people to know Luke. I want you guys to like get to know me a little bit. So I was thinking, like, I could wear some of my other things. Like my favorite shirt I own is this camo fishing shirt that I wear when I pretend I'm an outdoorsman twice a year when I go out west and really talented fly fishing guides make sure I catch fish. I could wear that. That's like the best garment I think I own. It's the most wonderful time of year, isn't it? And so I thought I should maybe express my fandom because but then it's like, what do I do, right? Do I do the Burrow jersey, right? Do I go with the custom Dooley Reds jersey, right? I mean, we're in the thick of a playoff race, right? I'm a huge soccer fan. These guys are going to win the Shield. We're going to win it all this year. I'm a major Premier League fan, so I thought, what about Tottenham Hotspur? Come on, you Spurs. Big Ange, we got a good thing going now, right? Don't believe the hype just because Harry Kane's gone. We're going to be great. The point is this, man, I got all these options. I haven't brought another Tottenham shirt. I got more at home, guys. I got options. I got all these parts of me. I got a Buckeye, the throwback Buckeye thing. And man, if I was honest and I just wanted to like be my most like true self, I'd probably just wear this pink hoodie that my kids love. This is like my pajama hoodie. Throw it on every night. My daughter laughs. She's like, why do you get home from work, take off your like normal clothes, and then instantly put on those like black sweatpants and that pink hoodie? I'm like, I don't know. It's almost like a liturgy of being home. It's a way I get comfortable. It's a way of being around in this space and just kind of being myself. Man, and it feels good to be yourself in a space, doesn't it? And I think we all know what it's like to be in a space where you don't feel like yourself, where you feel like, all right, I'm masking up. I'm putting something on. I'm wearing an identity that is not really, all that I am. I'm checking a part of myself at the door. And the reality is, for entrepreneurs, which is really what we're here to talk about today, not my fandom or my, below average wardrobe. We're here to talk about entrepreneurs and to support entrepreneurs, not just to listen to them, not just to hear them talk, not just to talk about them, but to really support this idea of activating entrepreneurial energy, of activating and leaning in and supporting people who have dreams that they want to cultivate into realities, to see them come to be tangible expressions of business culture and marketplace impact and value creation for the sake of making the world a better place. Because that's the reality. Like, that's why everyone does the thing they do, is because they want to make the world a better place. Maybe they want to make it a better place for themselves. Maybe they want to make it a better place for their children or for the next generation or for their family. Maybe they're a little more altruistic, right? They want to make it a better place for their community, for their neighborhood, for their city, right? They want to make it a better place for their industry, for the world they live in. And fundamentally, at OCEAN, that's what we believe, is that entrepreneurs want to make the world a better place. They have the capacity within them to create things of beauty and value and impact that make the world better. And we also know it's a perilous journey, because just like I have a duffel bag full of things, so do they. And here's the reality. So do you, and you know it. Like, a lot of you are wearing a collared shirt and a jacket and you wish you weren't, right? That's okay, though. But man, we all have this like multiplicative, these layers of our being. Not layers of our doing. We're always doing stuff, right? But we have these layers of our being that's like, man, this is who I am. I'm this complex person. And with founders, it's really complex, because the reality is their identity does become, if you're an entrepreneur, you know this. Greg, you know this, sitting here in the third row, alumni of OCEAN. Francis, you're out there somewhere, alumni of OCEAN. You guys know this reality that, boy, your identity can really become ingrained and wrapped around who you are as an entrepreneur, because it's a tale as old as time, right? Like the person that owns the cupcake shop in your town is like the cupcake lady. It's practically first and last name. So what do you do with that? How do you protect that? How do you make sure that doesn't become something unhealthy? Well, at OCEAN, that's sort of why we do what we do. That's kind of the whole reason we exist, is to help entrepreneurs launch and lead businesses from a place of health. Not by helping them decouple their identity, but by helping them understand their innate gifting, their innate wiring, that who they are, that the thing they have beating inside of them, that bloody beating heart of an entrepreneurial dream that wants to become a reality, is a big part of who they are. And it is not all that they are. And so they should not shed that when they walk into a certain space. And they should also not shed the reality that, man, at home, it's complex right now. That there's a lot going on, that they're trying to raise kids, that they just got married, that they're busy traveling, that they're overwhelmed, that finances are tight, that they just lost a loved one. They don't have to shed their past. They don't have to shed the fact that they grew up in a home that was really supportive or a home that was not supportive at all. They grew up as an overcomer, or that they grew up in a part of the world where opportunity did not seem like it was there for them, but they carved out a way. They don't leave any of that. They're bringing it into every space they walk in if we allow them to. And if we say, it's okay, it's safe, and in fact, it's better, it's healthy, it's right for you to show up and bring all that you are and share that gift with the world. And so over the next little bit, you're going to see 8 people walk on this stage that you might be tempted to believe are robots, right? Because they've practiced and they've practiced and they've practiced and they know their slides, and they're going to look at that screen and they're going to look at their cue, they're going to remember their lines, they're going to say their thing, and they're going to tell you about their business. But here's what I want you to believe and to know, is that over the last 17 weeks, we have got to know these amazing founders in this like beautifully intimate way. People ask us all the time at OCEAN, I don't even understand what faith and entrepreneurship means. You guys talk about it, I don't get it. How do you do it? Do you have like Sunday school lessons? Right? Like, what are you doing? You like Bible studies? You're trying to convert people? Where's the baptistry, right? It's like, no, man, we're just trying to help people understand that who they are and how they've been created and all they have to bring to the world is what we need. And we need them to do that in a way that's sustainable and is healthy, and it brings about not chaos in their life and in the lives of those they love, but beauty and flourishing in their life and in the lives of those closest to them and in the communities they reside and they operate in. And so 17 weeks ago, we started a journey with them. And on day 1 of our journey, our program director, James, who you're going to meet in a little bit, after some housekeeping, he'll stand up in front of them and he'll say, I asked you all to let me know where you were from when you got here. I'm going to tell you where I'm from. And James goes on to surprise them by reading this 5-minute beautiful monologue about where he's from, about the people and the places and the grief and the beauty and the turmoil and the opportunity and the success and the failure that shaped him to be the person that could stand in front of them and lead a program that they're walking into like humbly and scared and unsure of, and trusting us to walk us alongside them with their dream. And he gets done and he says, so maybe I'm from everywhere and nowhere all at once, and I just can't wait to hear where you're from. And it's at that moment that founders go, oh, maybe this environment's a little different. Maybe I don't check that part of me at the door. Maybe I get vulnerable. Maybe I open up. Maybe I share authentically. And so over the next few days and few weeks and few months leading up to today, we form this incredible community. We pour deeply into them, and they all tell us where they're from. And multiple times I will hear they'll say a thing and they'll say out loud in their subconscious, I'm not sure why I put that in there. I've never really told anyone that. I've never really expressed that. I'm not talking about that at the networking event or the happy hour or the thing that I'm normally a part of, but there's something different going on here. And so we're creating space for founders to bring their fullness. So you're going to see some founders, some human beings, not human doings on this stage, and you're going to see them sharing with you their business pitch and then their hearts a little bit, right? And I hope you'll get to know them. I hope in that happy hour and the follow-up or wherever, you will get to know those founders. Devin, that's my cue that I should just stop talking, isn't it? Is that what that alarm means, man? It's too long. Devin's a TED Talk coach. I'm up here stressed. He's staring right at me. I will leave you with this quote from Thomas Merton. He says, "If you want to identify me, ask me not where I live or what I like to eat or how I comb my hair." Please don't ask me that. "But ask me what I am living for. In detail, ask me what I think is keeping me from living fully for the thing that I want to live for." You're going to meet some people that are living for a thing today. They're living for a community, they're living for a family, they're living for a dream and for an idea. And if you're here, here's what I want you to know. You're committing to be part of a community that is not a passive onlooker crowd, but a community of activators, a community of encouragers, a community of supporters, people that actually want to get skin in the game, want to get their hands dirty, financially and investing in businesses, mentoring and coming alongside businesses, introducing people to customers, coming along and rallying alongside people for an arduous journey and saying, man, I believe in you, and I want to be there for you, and I want to help you overcome, and I want to help you push through in success and in failure. So I can't wait for you to meet them. I'm going to do something super weird and awkward that I promised myself I'd make myself do. We're going to take 60 seconds, and we're going to be totally quiet, and we're going to start in silence, and then you're going to see a video that does a little recap of 17 weeks ago, week 1 of this program. And the reason we're going to do silence is because it grounds us. And I want you to know, like, you're here in this space, and we think this is like sacred space, not because it's a church, but because we're walking alongside people that have sacred dreams, and we're fired up about you and your encounter with them. So for 60 seconds, just hear your thoughts and understand you are not your thoughts. You're not a person that is just doing things. You're here and you are being.
If you romanticize the future, you'll get there, maybe. But if you romanticize the present, you'll find freedom.
The world needs you to do that thing that you're so freaking afraid of, and you're not alone, because fear is exacerbated by loneliness. And the entire design of everything that we do at Ocean is to eliminate loneliness in this journey for you all.
Good afternoon. My name is Hayden. I'm the founder of TinyChain. TinyChain is an open source runtime for cloud services. If you're not sure what that means, don't worry, because no one does. It's the first of a new category of things. So let me take a minute and explain what that means. So a runtime in computer science just refers to the platform that makes sure that your apps still run the same, even on a different device. So if, for example, when you get a new smartphone, the Android or the iOS runtime is what makes sure that the App Store can install all your old apps and they still work the same, even on a new device. The reason why there is no App Store for cloud services, meaning software that runs on a server, is because there is no standard runtime for cloud services. So this has some very practical consequences for you as investors, because if you invest in a software as a service company, that means that most of your dollars going into each individual company are going to pay a team of developers to write functionally the same code to tie together each of the services in their tech stack. And the reason that I know that is because that was my job when I worked at venture-backed startups in New York. Most of those venture dollars went to pay developers like me to write the same glue code over and over and over again. When I started at Goldman Sachs, I was shocked to find that they did things the same way, even though practically all of their services were developed in-house. In order to get into Google, I had to pass a battery of tests to make sure that I could push forward the state-of-the-art in data structure and algorithm and systems design, only to find that my job there was the same thing, to just write the same glue code over and over and over again to glue together the different internal services at Google. So TinyChain is the solution. It's first of all a solution for developers to make sure they're not writing that same repetitive code over and over again. It's a solution for their employers to make sure they're not spending a lot on a little, and it's a solution for their investors to make sure that their investment dollars are not just immediately flowing out to someone else as revenue. And TinyChain achieves that by formalizing existing ad hoc standards at the protocol level to automate away that manual coding task of service integration. So right now we're in phase 1 of our business development strategy, which is charging for support. That's the same business model as a lot of open source databases, like MongoDB is probably the most well known. We've generated about $30,000 in revenue so far. We want to take that up to about $50,000 in monthly recurring revenue before shifting our focus to phase 2, which is charging for hosting. We have a waiting list of several early stage startups, 3 accelerator programs, and a scientific advisory firm. For stage 2, we are also working with a professional network of CTOs to develop that pipeline further. We believe we can take that up to about $100K in monthly recurring revenue before shifting focus to stage 3, which is our long-term revenue driver, which is just collecting a share of the revenue that's flowing through the App Store. So our next step is to seed the ecosystem with the first foundational services that our customers will use to build their products, which includes our user and group identity management service that powers our distributed chain of custody for cloud data. It also includes utilities to train and serve machine learning models that are auditable based on that identity data, as well as to deploy those services to customer data centers and still do metered billing, even though they're running in the customer data center. A great case study in how the business works today is Wildcats. It's a company that serves first-time entrepreneurs in the US and Southeast Asia. Wildcats needed original features, meaning they couldn't just plug in an off-the-shelf API, and TinyChain is able to offer those features at 1/10 of the market cost, primarily due to our savings in terms of development and operation costs, but also because the lifetime value of Wildcats as a customer isn't just their initial development spending, it's also revenue from hosting in phase 2, and it's also revenue from other companies using the same apps that were originally developed for Wildcats via the App Store in phase 3. Those problems that TinyChain solves are big unsolved problems in the industry. So I'm sure you've all heard this year about ChatGPT. What you may not know is that when it came out, ChatGPT was actually banned at a lot of big companies. It was even banned for a while in the entire country of Italy. Even the enterprise version of ChatGPT is still banned today at a lot of big companies like JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Northrop Grumman, companies that have very specific regulatory requirements for how they share data even within the company. And that's because ChatGPT does not keep track of the data that it collects. Another company with a very similar problem that you may have heard of is Facebook. Facebook has paid on average $1 billion per year in fines for 6 years running. They've paid over $300 million in fines just so far this year because they keep losing track of parts of their consumer data set. So we've raised about $75,000 so far. We're raising a further $175,000. That's primarily to develop that initial set of services for the App Store, but it's also to develop our UI toolkit and formalize our sales pipeline. It's been an incredible journey so far, watching our open source project come together from an all-volunteer staff of contributors, but we're just getting started with TinyChain. And I want to invite you all to come on this journey with us as we become the catalyst for our customers to fulfill their mission. Thank you. I'll be around all day. Please come talk to me. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Toli. I am founder of Magic Kids, and I would love to start with my personal story. 4 years ago, my co-founder and I, we had an exit experience from our previous startup. It was in Eastern Europe. And right after that, I moved to the United States, and I brought my exotic accent with me. So then, COVID was happened. Everybody knows that COVID changed everything in our lives. First of all, we started to work remotely. We absolutely redesigned our workspaces. We started to use different interactive tools for online communications. Also, it was a homeschooling boom. Parents understood what is it home learning and what kind of benefits they can receive. And I can say we started to shape a new industry in our world, which calls the future of home. To approve my words, I want to show these numbers. This edutainment market. It started to grow, it's a merge between edtech and gaming market together, and it started to grow after pandemic, around 18% year by year. But let's talk about our kids. What they're doing at our homes. Probably you know that many students today, age 4 through 8 years old, they can spend just 12 minutes in a lesson before moving on digital games or cartoons. But in the same time, they spend on average 3 hours screen time a day. We have a 1,500% difference and continue to grow every year. Good news that we have a digital kids and really great opportunity for learning by playing. So this is why we built Magic Kids. Magic Kids is a game-based learning platform for 4 through 8 years old kids, and we increase their learning time using our gamification and interactive technologies. Let's talk about our users. Our users are kids. They love Magic Kids because Magic Kids is like a video game for them. Also, we have customers. Our customers are parents. Parents pay a subscription fee, which opens a new world of learning. And for them, Magic Kids, for sure, is an education platform. And also, they have partners. Our partners are educators. They can create new educational video games for us, and we share our revenue with them for that. We use subscription-based business model, and all our subscribers generate around $75 with 57% gross margin. It's only the beginning. We're growing organically 30% month by month. Last month, we have a 4,000 monthly revenue. We have around 3,500 monthly active users. We have a great product metrics. For example, retention rate for week number 4 is around 40%. It's around 2 times higher than benchmark. And also, we have a great ratings in the App Store and Google Play, because kids and parents love our app. Just in August, Magic Kids was featured in free TV channels in back-to-school campaign. And how I already said, it's only beginning. But where are we going? Could you imagine if one day we can connect all kids across the world, it doesn't matter where we're based, Egypt, Ukraine, Vietnam, Brazil, Mexico, United States, and provide them the high-quality education from third-party developers and educators? Could you imagine how we can change this world? But for sure, we are not alone in our journey. We have competitors. For example, in our educational apps from the App Store or Google Play, but first of all, most of them looks like puzzles or 2D games. And second, they focus on our age group. They focus from 0 through 4 years old kids. Then Magic Kids focuses from 4 through 8 years old kids. Also, we have teachers' platforms like 99 Math, ClassTech, Prodigy, but most of them looks like CRM or learning management systems. Then Magic Kids provide absolutely new tool to create interactive lessons, this video game format, which is already familiar for kids, and also earn extra money. I have a brilliant international team, this huge experience in gaming and education. My co-founder, Mariana, she's CTO. Also, we have a Serge, he's from gaming area. We have a Costa, he's from marketing area. And we have a Tiffany, she's from education area. And also plus 10 great guys from across the world. And today, we're looking for 700K for 18 months runaway. Our goal is to launch platform for teachers to create new educational games and grow our lifetime value, to launch new marketing channels to acquire new users and grow our monthly revenue. So why invest in Magic Kids? First of all, we already have traction. We're growing 30% month by month, and we don't want to stop on that. Second, founder team already has the exit experience. And to be honest, I want to repeat it with you again. Number 3, we already raised 200K from our goal. This is why we need just 500K. And investors already believe in us. Number 4, we have a great market. It's growing 18% year by year. It helps us to grow together. And finally, and importantly, it's a great chance to grow a new generation of people and make this world a better place. Thank you for attention, guys. Please download the app, try with your kids, or just by yourself. I promise you will love it. And let's make magic together. Thank you.
When it comes to doing big things, you and your team are legendary. But the needs of the business are always growing, which means you have some serious work to do. It could be deploying new infrastructure, getting really good at DevOps, automating manual processes, or whatever. Sounds like quite the adventure. You might need a little help. That's what consultants are for. But most consultants have an impersonal approach, a one-size-fits-all playbook. They want you to replace what you've already built, using stuff they want you to buy. They're not thinking about your business, just their bottom line. But you know your business and where you want to go. You just need some help getting there. That's where we come in. Tenture is a technology consulting firm that specializes in apps, data, and cloud infrastructure. We can help you modernize your applications, automate manual processes, reduce costs, and increase your speed to market. We meet you where you are, and we make the most of the solutions and the team you already have. No playbooks, no upsells, and no more endless projects. And unlike those other guys, we won't leave you hanging. We equip your team to meet the future head on, whatever comes next. There's no adventure too big. Wherever you want to go, Tensure helps you get there.
Good afternoon. My name is Melissa. I'm CEO of Wildcats, and our mission is to unleash Gen Z. This is an incredibly entrepreneurial generation that is game-changing the economic engine for emerging markets and neighborhoods. Did you know that there's 111 million Gen Zs with side hustles in the US and Southeast Asia? In the US, 40% of Gen Zs are starting up their own businesses. And where we're launching in Southeast Asia, that number is 70%, and it's growing, 54% year over year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the future of work. We actually got started with Gen Z entrepreneurs. Our roots are in running startup challenges and venture builds, supported by corporate sponsors. In our first year, we launched in 8 countries, and we've gone viral in over 18 million impressions. And we've worked hands-on with 3,000 Gen Z entrepreneurs. So what have we learned in this time? Well, there's pain points. First is that when you're a young entrepreneur just starting out, you don't actually know where to start. In fact, for many, the side hustle is their first job. And then they're shocked to find out that actually being an entrepreneur is quite lonely. And finally, there's just not enough patience to learn. They just know that someone's got a hack somewhere. So of course, everybody is scrolling TikTok, of course, watching the lawnmower guy try to give advice on how to start up your business. So we're like, we think we can do better. That was an interesting one, though, about entrepreneurs helping each other. So we tried to figure that one out. Our first MVP was launched this spring with human bingo marketplaces, which is approximating entrepreneur platforms. Like, what happens when you put a whole bunch of young businesses together? Well, they were really hungry. We were oversubscribed by 198 companies for just 90 slots. 3 weeks ago, Wildcats just launched with the Entrepreneur Powerhouse, where you can find the exact tools that you need, created by more experienced entrepreneurs. So those 3 pain points from before, not knowing where to start, now you can get a startup kit. Feeling lonely? Well, join a very vibrant and supportive Wildcats community. And remember all of that TikTok scrolling? Well, that's actually just the tip of the iceberg that we are massively uncovering. All that hidden expertise of the long tail end of small business entrepreneurship, we're now transforming into virtual products. I know we're really quite early stage, but in our first 12 days of launching, we've already onboarded 300 visitors with over 10% sales conversion. This is all without spending a single marketing dollar. We make money in 3 ways. First, we bring them all in with startup kits at about average $25 a kit. And as they join the Wildcats community and are supported by relationships and knowledge, they build up their confidence and their businesses and can actually subscribe to the entrepreneurs who are helping them the most. In the future, we want to deepen these relationships and knowledge transfer by launching one-on-one consultations and side gigs between the members. So what's going on in the marketplace? All of these the needs of this generation's hustlers is not being met right now by places like LinkedIn, TikTok, and Masterclass. In fact, LinkedIn's own Summit Global last year named Southeast Asia as the company's top priority growth market and Gen Z as the fastest growing segment. And then they named TikTok as their biggest competitor. This is all because of that entrepreneurial X factor. By way of market validation, we also track a competitor called WAP.com, which also does virtual product entrepreneur marketplace. They have done $130 million in just 2 years after their launch. This is a team that has built startups, brands, and communities. We are Delaware C Corp. I was Warren MBA's Social Impact Fellow and also co-president of Warren Christian Fellowship. I have 20 years of experience in the C-suite of startups, launching consumer, retail, fintech, banking, AI, robotics, and edtech. My amazing team has 10 plus years of go-to-market experience at places like L'Oreal and Moet Hennessy. And our Gen Z staff, the real bosses, are bona fide Instagram entrepreneurs and influencers in their own right with over 30,000 followers. This is a team that's seeking $500,000 for 12 months of runway. In our first 3 months, we want to onboard more than 100 sellers in time for December holiday launch. And at 6 months, we will be onboarding 25% new users monthly, and partnership with TinyChain, our cohort mate that you just heard, who is going to streamline a highly efficient and cost-effective engineering for us to be able to build out our scalability features, and that's to support 10 months monthly active users at the 12-month time frame. Our investor includes an amazing Fortune 1000 CEO named Palit Bhirombhakdi, and we're so thankful for his support. He supports Wildcats because he knows that we are surfing this tidal wave of Gen Z entrepreneurship, and we invite you to join us today in unleashing Gen Z. Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before we get started, I want everyone to stand up. We've been having some amazing pitches come up, and we've been listening to them. It's time to take a little bit of a break here. We're going to do a little stretch break. So I'm going to have everyone tighten your core, tighten your glutes a little bit. We're going to have our palms raising forward, and we're going to go all the way up. Take a deep breath in. Yes, and exhale all the way out. Good. Awesome. We're going to do that one more time. Raise all the way up. Awesome, and exhale, come all the way down, have a seat there. Welcome, my name is Dr. Mason. I'm the founder and CEO of Wiggle Health. We help companies cut costs on work-related issues. And we do that by really giving their employees proactive solutions for their well-being. You see, that stretch you just did, I wish my mom would have had that stretch back in 2020. She actually suffered from a severe low back injury that actually caused her loss of consciousness while working. And she's the reason why I'm so passionate today about solving work-related injuries. But she's not the only one. For a better part of a decade now, I've had a front row seat in working in corporate healthcare, and I've seen a lot of the challenges that they've been faced with, particularly due to COVID. See, when COVID happened, we were forced to shift from this office set work to now more of a hybrid and more of a remote setting. And although that's brought flexibility for employees, it brought problems for the employers. See, in 2021, work-related injuries skyrocketed. In fact, it was so bad that OSHA, our regulatory system here in America, had to start ramping up their workplace safety violation. Not to mention, PAGA claims have went at an all-time high. We haven't seen that since the 90s. And the reason for that is because the current solutions for ergonomics and musculoskeletal care for the workplace, it's outdated. It's not feasible, and it's really what's driving the cost of the market size. It's projected to go up to about $120 billion by 2030. But with Wiggle, our solutions are going to transform the health and safety of the modern-day workspace. And we do that by leveraging machine learning along with integrating to wearables to help us to early detect signs and risk factors of work-related injuries. But we didn't stop there. We knew that HR managers, they need better data, especially working in a hybrid workforce. So what we did was we created a platform just for them so that they can get predictive analytics for that they can help with prevent work-related injuries, as well as make sure that we can reduce compliance cost. And our model is very simple. We start off by providing an annual licensing fee, and we have a clear formula to penetrate the mid-sized market. We're still an early stage company, but we've made some big waves. We just finished a paid pilot with some of the industry-leading giants, such as Amazon, as well as Meta. We're onboarding 2 companies as of this month, and we have 6 tech companies in our pipeline. And to continue that momentum and really to make sure we hit our goals, we're fundraising for a $750K. What this is going to allow us to do is ramp up our sales and marketing, as well as focus on product development. And so I'm accompanied by some amazing people, and we've had so much experience within not only healthcare, tech, but also some exit for over a decade now. My designer actually designed the NVIDIA logo. Our CTO has been in tech for over 10 plus years, working at companies like IBM, Google, as well as Miston Labs. Our workplace manager has worked in workplace management for Atlassian, Human Success Factors, as well as Microsoft. And so, in closing, I'm really asking you to come join us on this journey. Help us make work-related injuries a thing in the past. Thank you very much.
In 1992, the founder of Miami's entrepreneurship program had an idea. And the idea was to build a world-class program in undergraduate entrepreneurship education. Now today that may not seem like a big deal, but at the time there were very few graduate programs, and most of theirs had an uncertain future. There were effectively no undergrad programs. And so guess what words he heard? You can't do that. Fast forward to today. Today, Miami's entrepreneurship program is one of the most highly ranked programs in the country. And not just this year, but year after year after year. Today, more than 25% of our students take at least one entrepreneurship course every single year. And today, entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, leaders of industry call Miami University home. Companies like Cintas and Paycor and Oros. You might think of technology unicorns like MongoDB or Credit Karma. And even entrepreneurial leaders. At one point recently, the COOs of Uber, Instagram, and Twitter were all Miamians. And so we often get this question, how? How do you do this? How do you generate these entrepreneurial outcomes? And honestly, the answer is rather simple. We do it through real-time, real-world entrepreneurial experience. There's sort of no substitute for entrepreneurship. So we throw them into the deep end of the pool. We give them more shots on goal. And this is always done as we immerse them into the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We can't do that on our own. We don't do that on our own. We do that through partners. And no partner is more important to us than OCEAN. OCEAN adds tremendous value to Miami University. And Miami University adds tremendous value to OCEAN. And you say, well, of course, they're a high technology accelerator. And that's true. They're one of the best in class. And that's awesome. We're blessed by that. But they're also a faith-based accelerator. And it is that area that Miami is increasingly interested in.
Hi everyone, this is Simon, founder and CEO of Anonymous Agent. We bridge micro-influencers with local businesses. You may not be super familiar with the micro-influencer concept, but you definitely know a handful of celebrities. Brands work with them for marketing, and they get paid millions of dollars by sharing their experiences on social media. Here's the question. We may be a little less famous compared to my friend Cristiano here, but can we get paid for the same thing? It turns out the answer is yes. I share my life, mostly food, and when I go to restaurants and try food, I take photos. It's very often that the waiter or the manager would come and ask me like, hey, would you mind sharing those photos on Instagram and tag us? We can give you a good discount, sometimes even free meal. Gradually, I start to wonder that, hey, can I get a free meal every meal? I searched for such a product, and there's nothing. That's when I started building Anonymous Agent. Anonymous Agent help micro-influencers and even average social media users like you and me monetize influence. For phase 1, we're connecting food bloggers to New York City restaurants. And how we're different is that both parties, they only need to do what they're already doing. So what do I mean by that? Well, first, we need to look at the current problematic process. In order to collaborate with an influencer, well, it's not that different compared to working with a celebrity. There are a lot of back and forth communications and coordinations going on, and that amounts to about 5 hours of manual work, which then translates to, on average, $500 service fee charged by PR agencies. And that is just for one influencer. Guess what? We offer something much better. With Anonymous Agent, I do not need to create a profile or list myself on a marketplace somewhere. I don't even need to talk to the restaurants or the PR agencies. By spending just 2 minutes being myself, being an anonymous customer, and upload my post, I get paid for my food. As simple as that, I get a free meal every meal leveraging my social media, my digital presence. Should I stop there? Should we stop there? Of course not. What about my other digital footprints, like my search pattern, my purchasing pattern, my geolocation? I should be able to leverage all those data. And for companies already buying consumer data, millions of companies, they get value add if they can buy that data from me. Instead of snatching data pieces from various service providers, for the first time, they can get a complete customer profile. It's also much less likely for them to breach privacy legislation if they can buy my data from me with my consent. And if it's such a good deal for both sides, well, how big is the market, right? We're in social media and consumer data, so it's huge. And the SOM alone is already $38 billion. But don't stop there. Imagine how the market will shift if companies start to realize that, hey, I can have my customers do the marketing for me while generating revenue. By now, you probably wonder, who are the people behind this amazing product? Well, so let's learn more about the team. So beyond a foodie and a food blogger, I studied computer science at USC with my co-founder, Mike. Later on, I went to Columbia, and Hey went to Caltech. Post-graduation, I was optimizing trading strategies for hedge funds at Lazard Asset Management, and then became a consultant at Accenture. For Mike, he got his exposure to creator economy at YouTube, and as a star engineer, he later joined Waymo. Our product is available on almost all major platforms with about 2,000 users, which we spent less than $1 each to acquire. We also have more than 50 paying clients, and we're building a new sales team to grow that number. In about 18 months, with funding, we will reach 3 million annual revenue, and from there, we will expand from local businesses to e-commerce, to softwares. And in the near term, we will gradually pick up more and more data pieces so all of us can make additional passive income. But no need to wait till the future when we become a public company. Right now is the best time to join us. We can work together and help consumers like you and me own our data and monetize it like a piece of asset. We start from food you can taste we are Anonymous Agent, foodies transforming the landscape of consumer data. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kevin Saliska, CEO of Integrate School, and we are improving students' performance by making teachers better. Today, the education system is failing our kids. Students need more personalized education to excel. The teachers are getting overwhelmed, and administrators and parents need more visibility into what's actually happening in the classroom. Why do you think I know this? Because I was one of those kids where the education system failed me. If it was not for my fourth grade teacher who customized her lesson plan and gave me free tutoring after school, I wouldn't be standing here right now. And today is my mission to change the education system to help those kids who struggle like me. Our solution, we provide transparency for the parents and administrators so they can see through an approval system. We also increase time saving by having a lesson library so teachers can access. And we improve students' performance by giving real-time data on students' data to the teachers. We are growing thanks to word of mouth. Our customers love our product. And the reason why they love it is because we help save teacher time, we streamline the teachers' and administrators' workflow, and our product is user-friendly. Integrate School is used by 500 amazing teachers served across 2,400 students across 12 schools in 5 states. Integrate, as of right now, our current ARR is $125,000 as of today. And we are on track of net positive by February of next year. And we are forecast next year, by the end of 2024, of hitting 3x our revenue and 12x EBITDA. The education system is ripe for disruption. The market opportunity is huge. We are targeting a $3.9 billion market, and it's only growing from here. You don't have to take my word. The proof is in the pudding. We're currently in 5 states where there's bills, several bills, getting pushed and creating a market demand for what we're actually doing for the states. And we also established distribution channel partners to help us increase our sales within these states. We are a B2B SaaS model. We charge $5,000 per school. And with our lesson library, we charge between $5,000 to $30,000. Our average contract size is $15,000. And now that we're starting to work with school districts, we can increase our price point to $50,000 per district. But let me make it very clear. We do have direct competitors. However, most of the schools today use email and Google Drive. But what separates us from the rest of the school softwares is 3 major factors that we provide. We have an approval and transparency system. We also have a content platform where teachers can use, and we also have a way to display student strengths and weaknesses tied to the state standards. This is my amazing co-founder, Maxwell. We met freshman year in college. And this is not our first rodeo. We both designed, launched, and funded other startup initiatives. And myself, I also had previously another educational nonprofit where I sold curriculum to public and charter schools. And here's Eric, our CTO. He has over 30 years of software development experience for software, 100 experience for software. And this is Phil and Tiana and Jim. They have a 50-year experience of working with teachers, principals, and superintendents. And with our combined team, we are able to actually excel on what we're doing. And we have found a market fit. We are currently raising $1 million. And with the help of you joining this round, we can actually get this done. Most of the money is going to product and sales. And here's the best part. With this amount being closed, we can actually, in just 2 years, we're able to have an ARR of $2.25 million top-line revenues with just only 117 schools. Maxwell and I would love to have you join our round. And even though we are doing good today, with us closing this investment, we will explode. And we will be able to help the kids who are struggling in today's education system with our software solution. So please, join us so we can improve the students' outcome by making teachers better. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, and thank you for being here and joining us here today. I'm James Matthews, and I got the privilege, and I'm really thankful to OCEAN for allowing me to lead and design this cohort with some incredible individuals that really gave their heart and soul. There's an article in The Atlantic recently, and it talks about what adults get wrong about friendship. You should Google it. What adults get wrong about friendship. And it talks about that we schedule our appointments and we catch up with each other, but we don't spend time together, lazy time together, wasteful time together, unproductive time together. It's always scheduled, it's always a no, catch me up, I'll catch you up. And so the secret to a human-oriented accelerator is not the technology folks, which we had incredible people with tech. We had business marketing, we had understanding your customer, product market fit, we had investor readiness. What needs to happen for these folks that you see on the stage is a group of people that come together that enables wasteful time, because it's in that wasteful time that you're able to figure out where they're scared, where they're hurting. And that's really what prevents people from reaching their goals. And that's what OCEAN did. That's what the team of people around us this year did incredibly well, is once we understand what challenges we're facing, and once we know we have somebody alongside us, is what you saw here on stage is what happens. These founders started off with childlike wonder, going after a market, trying to solve a problem for a customer they cared for, and we wanted to restore that sense of wonder back to them. And so this is an accelerator powered by humans. And I wanted to thank our sponsors who make this happen. Incredible sponsors, 3021, Kirk and team. See Katie over there taking my picture. The bumpers, I don't know why I didn't get a bumper, but that everything you see up here, the videos, everything done by them. I could call out all the sponsors here. And then this cohort, I'm just looking at this screen right now, and I'm seeing people from China, teams from Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, somebody who moved to India and was working from there for half the cohort. East Coast, West Coast, Russian married to a Ukrainian. This is a world. The world is becoming full of entrepreneurs, and it is an opportunity for us to humanize what that experience is like, because the world is divisive. The world is full of conflict. But this group of people came together in a beautiful way that gives us hope around that. And it came together because of all these folks here. I wish I could talk about every single person on here that you're seeing on this slide. But I want to talk about this team here. Luke, thank you very much, and Christy, for having confidence in a very unique and unconventional way of putting things together. We want to get to the messy stuff, and because we know that that's where freedom is unlocked for the founders. Haley Height is on here. She's probably not in this room right now because she's always thinking ahead, always working. We could not even be here on the stage without her. Gurmeher, who came from Australia to understand what it's like for early stage founders, and he's sitting in the back row with Dan, who's on here as well, and Sylvia. Becca just went to Cincinnati Airport, getting on a plane to Australia to talk about the experiences she learned while being here. And then Mike Cannell, when I asked him to help co-lead this, I just knew we were going to have a great accelerator that was focused on humans. So Mike, thank you for everything that you've done, standing alongside me and putting up with me as well. And you know I had to put up with you as well. But you know what? None of this can happen if we don't have great investors. And so I would like to welcome to the stage Christy Johnson with Fire Road Ventures. There's somebody that has to believe, not just believe, but give money to early stage dreamers. That's what Fire Road Venture does. Tell us more, Christy.
Well, it's not really a gift, it's an investment.
Right. It's an investment.
To be clear about that. Everyone, I'm so happy to be with you this afternoon and so proud of the founders in Cohort 9. And I want to tell you a little bit about Fire Road Ventures because we are a brand new early stage venture fund based here in Cincinnati. And I want you to get to know us from this one phrase that's in our investment thesis. We want to work with mission-driven founders. And chances are, when I hyphenated those words together, something kind of popped into your mind, and we all have different ideas about what that means. For us, a mission-driven founder is somebody who sees a problem, they get to know that problem, perhaps they've experienced it or a loved one has experienced it, and they observe it for a while, and finally, something in them flips, and they say, come hell or high water, I have to do something about that. And I think that's true for everyone who's been on this stage today. I hope you can see that through line. And that's a little bit of our story at Fire Road Ventures. Our partners are entrepreneurs who built and scaled tech companies here in Cincinnati. And I've been the COO of OCEAN for the last several years. And our team has observed and experienced and lived in this reality that there is a need for capital for founders at their earliest stages. We're not talking after you hit $100,000 in revenue. We're not talking after you have $1 million in ARR. We're saying that 0 to 1 has a whole lot of decimals that need to line up behind it. And we're here for you, founders, in that stage. So we exist to help solve that problem. We see the problem, we observe the problem, and we say, come hell or high water, we're going to do something about it. And OCEAN is the perfect partner for us in working with these founders because that's the founding story of OCEAN. 8 years ago, a group of entrepreneurs We're getting together and building companies, chasing after these like giant visions, and starting families, and maintaining friendships, and trying to stay healthy, and saying, you know what, if I got to the end of this, and I exited, and I have no connection to a meaningful relationship, is that worth it? If I make a ton of money, but I lose my sense of worth, is that worth it? These founders knew the problem, they've lived the problem, and they said, I guess we'll have to do something about it. And that launched the organization we now know as OCEAN. And the founders who are attracted to this program, James just had them all up, are like magical. They are incredible. And turns out, they built some really awesome businesses too. Really great investment opportunities. 62 companies have come through the OCEAN Accelerator in an industry where 85% will die in 18 months. 60% of OCEAN companies are still in operation. 3 have been acquired, which is awesome. They have raised more than $125 million in follow-on capital and combined for a market cap of over $1 billion. They have grown in value 5 times since they stood on this stage. But that's what they have in common. They stood on this stage, just like the founders that we're meeting today. And so Fire Road sees the founders standing on this stage and says, we're with you. We're going to be with you from 0 to 1, and we want to be with you from 1 to 100. And so we are so excited to be the capital partner for the OCEAN Accelerator program this year and for the next 2 years. Because it's all about the founder. And we love getting to know them in this program. We love working with the OCEAN team, and are excited for you to get to know them and get, even just right now, a little bit behind the scenes of what actually goes on in the Accelerator program. How do we keep humans at the center and help them sift through the next steps?
Would love to welcome one of those founders, Joe Knopp, onto the stage. And Joe is not pitching today, and I want to tell you why. Because he came in to the Accelerator. Come here, the X is here, buddy.
I'm sorry.
He came into the Accelerator with one company and is exiting the Accelerator with one company. But before you tell us about what that journey was like, just want to tell you, all of us are proud of you. This guy's 22 years old. Listen to what he's experienced just this summer. And what he won't tell you is the challenges and everything else he had to overcome and manage and navigate through and stay locked in. But you came in with one company, and tell us what that was like and what happened.
Yeah, so this past June, I successfully exited my first company that I started about 2.5 years ago and bootstrapped my college dorm room. We sold to a small private equity firm out of Cleveland, Ohio, and that it was a mission-driven CPG brand, and so we scaled it from 0 to a couple $100,000 in not just revenue, but profit, while being able to give over 30,000 people access to clean water. And I finished my degree. My mom was going to yell at me if I didn't. But we were able to accomplish something with our small and mighty team that was quite something to be a part of.
So you enter the Accelerator, you sell your company, and then in a few weeks, you have these ideas and you're surrounded by these founders. Well, tell us about that experience of being around this cohort.
Yeah, so just to be immersed by this entire cohort was, for me, life-changing. I mean, you have Mason, who's reshaping workplace health, or Hayden, who's orchestrating the new cloud services. And so there was a playbook that I had developed, and it was all based around transparency and connectivity with the prior company. And I really believe that there's an opportunity to run the same playbook with tech. And these founders, they're backstage right there. This is why I look there. But they're showing me how to get the job done, and they're phenomenal people, and they're awesome. That's just easily put, they're amazing.
What are you leaving
What are you leaving this accelerator and being around these founders who have given their all chasing these dreams? What are you leaving with from this accelerator?
Yeah, I'm above anything else, I'm leaving with a plethora of new knowledge. As I said, I bootstrapped, so I had no idea, not no idea. I had a basis for the fundamentals of business, but honestly, James, I have to say thank you to you, because James and Mike and all the mentors, they brought it back down to ground zero of what it takes to build the cornerstone of a company to increase the likelihood of success. And I'm leaving with new mentors, this new knowledge, new friends, and I got to nurture this relationship with somebody who's going to be my new technical co-founder, and something I'm really excited that we're building. And it's been this launch pad, but very human-centered to move and take that next step forward in the dark.
I love that. I love you because of the kind of person you are. I hate you because you're only 22. So you need to do something with this, and I know you will.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I'm going to do it. I want to anybody in here chasing a dream, this is what it means to be in a messy world with founders. I'm going to just read this to you.
Okay.
And if you're chasing something, this is for you as well. Joe, surround yourself with relentless humans. You are one. People who plan in decades but live in moments. Train like savages but create like artists. Obsess in work but relax in life. People who know this is finite and yet choose to play infinite games. Find people scaling mountains, climb together. Loved having you in this cohort.
Thank you.
We have one more presentation. Thank you guys for being here.
Hi, folks. I'm Marvin, CEO of One & Kin. We are a mission-driven consumer and retail technology company that genuinely believes communities flourish when small businesses flourish. And to that end, we provide small businesses with cost-effective, cutting-edge solutions to help them compete in the digital landscape. We've been very hard at work over the last number of years investigating some of the most critical pain points of small businesses. And through relentless experimentation and co-building alongside our customers, we developed this proof of concept that generated $250,000 on a 42-cent CAC. That CAC, by the way, is less than 1% of industry average. But more importantly, we exposed a huge gap in the market. To paint a clearer picture, I want to introduce you to Jennifer and her daughter, Corey. They are the owners of Sisters Uptown Bookstore, located just north of Harlem. More than a community staple, they've been in this neighborhood really catalyzing change. But when we met with them, we discovered that they were on the brink of permanent closure after approaching 20 years in business. For us, this was scary, but what was even more terrifying was the reality that their story was not unique, but that in fact, small businesses all across the country, whether brick and mortar or online, are losing out on billions in sales with the B, all because they struggle to reach their target audience. Now, let's unpack this problem layer by layer through the lens of a model we're all quite familiar with. This is the traditional sales funnel. If and only if you are a marketing professional operating in a purely theoretical setting. Now, this right here is what the sales funnel actually looks like in the wild when you are Jennifer, struggling to keep her bookstore open and needing to branch out beyond her 2-mile foot traffic radius to this unknown digital audience. Her experience is noisy, cluttered, and riddled with so much friction. So to address these compounding challenges, we created One & Kin Live, a live stream shopping app akin to QVC, but entirely modernized to meet the needs and appetite of today's merchant and consumer. By integrating live video, in-app chat, and e-commerce shoppability, we cut through the noise of the sales funnel, providing this immersive and dynamic shopping experience. We converge multiple disconnected touchpoints into this streamlined shopping journey to facilitate sticky, interactive, and convenient experiences for merchants and consumer. What we're building here is the future of commerce. And this is validated by consumer insights. 50% of customers are more loyal to brands that make it easy to connect with them, leveraging the latest technologies. And customer lifetime value increases by 51%. That's 51% when customers have these personalized and convenient touch points. As even further validation, there are new market entrants popping up left and right, but we are the only solution, the only company delivering this innovation specifically to small businesses. In fact, we built OneKen Live alongside thousands of merchants and have introduced business-critical features informed by their specific and precise pain points. Our focus on small business is very intentional. If their pain goes unaddressed, the consequences are severe. Across the board, small business sales growth is declining every single year. Black-owned businesses in particular are seeing a 51% decrease in sales. Widespread closure rates contribute to a loss of jobs, a lack of community development, and socioeconomic deterioration in neighborhoods where small businesses would otherwise serve as these local economic engines. In truth, communities decline when small businesses decline. Now, this is a huge market opportunity. We benefit from being among the first movers in this space and are targeting as big a piece of this pie as possible. To tackle this market, we're pulling a number of levers. Firstly, we are prioritizing AI integration to improve our recommendation model before making the app widely available to the 7,000 merchants already in our pipeline. Secondly, we will leverage strategic partnerships to gain access to these massive merchant ecosystems. For context, after integrating our technology with Shopify, we now have access to their 2 million plus merchants and have already kicked off partnership conversations with their team. Finally, over time, we will make our technology available to merchants to cross-collaborate without our intervention. And within 5 years, we anticipate we'll be able to have 500,000 active merchants on our platform. Our business model is super simple and merchant-friendly. We earn a flat 15% commission on gross merchandise value, or GMV, and we have a very clear path to $1 million. Over the next 12 months, our base case model assumes 150 average active merchants each month, generating at least $4,000 in GMV. Our founding team is dynamic and versatile. My hair looks very different then. We bring a lot of experience from Wall Street to retail, but we're further supported by an equally dynamic technical and advisory team. In fact, the former executive vice president of MasterCard sits on our board of directors, further strengthening our ties to this data giant. We're raising a modest $1.5 million to invest heavily in our technology and deepen market penetration, and we're backed by a number of strategically important partners. In closing, I want to reintroduce Jennifer and Corey. You know, when we met with them, permanent closure was not an option for us. We invited them to participate in our proof of concept. Within 8 weeks, they generated nearly $200,000 in sales. Not only did they stay open, but they hired locally and they invested in their community. So an investment in OneKen is an investment in the Jennifers and the Coreys of this world. Thank you.
I don't know how many folks say they love their lawyers, but those are ours, and we love them. Zach, Vance, team, we love you guys. In fact, we love every single sponsor that is a part of this work. So you're like, what are all these commercials? What are these little things? Look, man, those are the people that help pay the bills. They help make this work possible. They actually give real dollars and real time and real energy and tons of support. And so I just wanted to like double down and reiterate, we're super, super thankful for every single one of them. Hey, that was the last pitch. So a really quick hand for Ocean Class 9. I love that. I'm just going to tidy things up here just for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna break and get to happy hour and kind of carry on with the rest of our days. But I hope you see, after seeing those pitches and meeting Joe and just kind of encountering those founders, that, man, this is serious business. I came out here at the beginning, right? And I talked a little emotionally about the human element and who these people are and their identity. And then you saw like, whoa, there's like serious business here. That's what we're about. That's what we're about. We're about bringing serious value to the world by investing in people that have big, bold ideas, helping them see them come to life. If you think that maybe that could be you one year, that you think you could be on this stage, we would invite you to explore OCEAN Accelerator Class 10. As of right now, the applications are open and live. I believe there's a slide that will pop up with a QR code. Not that slide. That's another one. Also not that one. You're going to find it eventually. And if it's not, it's going to be in your notebook, or come find us and we'll make sure you get it. You scan that one later, because I'm going to ask you to, but that's not the slide. OCEAN Accelerator Class 10 applications are live. Go to our website. You'll find it. Man, we want you to apply, because we're going to keep cranking out incredible batches of founders. Goodness, I can't believe we've done this for nearly a decade. We just love this, and we love the community that is a part of this work. You know, there's a ton of reasons entrepreneurs fail. I don't even like using the word failure. Maybe there's a ton of reasons business close, or, honestly, call it failure. Because a lot of times they fail because they never actually begin. They never actually start. And there's a litany of reasons why you wouldn't start. Many of them fear-based, many of them in our hearts and our minds, many of them, honestly, though, just practical realities. We have a partner. This is one of our last partners. I just wanted to call them out because they're not here and they didn't have a video. And man, they gave us an incredible amount of resources to make this happen. They're a great group. It's that one right there that you're looking for. And so they're called MediShare. They're an incredible organization that provides health insurance and health care opportunities for all kinds of people. There's 400,000 people in this member-driven health cost-sharing network. So it's non-traditional insurance that allows people that maybe want to go take a big, bold leap into entrepreneurship, but that practical thing of, health insurance, that's kind of a big deal for most people and most families. Maybe that's the barrier. Maybe that's the thing. Well, MediShare's out here going, hey, we believe in Ocean, and we believe in this opportunity for entrepreneurs to make the world a better place. And we want to see more people jump in. So in fact, we're going to partner up so the message goes further, and we're going to partner up and create opportunities for discounts for future entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that want to jump in the mix with them. So I just want to make sure that we mentioned MediShare. All right, I'm gonna wrap things up here with a really quick story about a living room I get to sit in once a month. So I'm in this thing that we do at Ocean called Mastermind. It's a program we run, but I'm in it as a participant. I'm not leading anything. I'm just like one of 8 guys, half the groups I think in this room. Hey, friends. And it's a really special environment. We do all kinds of other stuff at Ocean. I think a lot of people think we're this accelerator program only. We run a program called Genesis. We work with early stage small business owners, aspiring entrepreneurs. We have alumni and programs like that from like 18 countries and 30 some states. We run mastermind programs for established business owners. We run all kinds of other community events. We did an Unpolished tour last year. We were in 15 different cities, spreading a message of hope around this idea that you can like be vulnerable and be real and be authentic in your entrepreneurial journey. And actually like there's hope in that. When you integrate your faith to that, like there's actually sustainability in that path. So we do all this stuff at Ocean. And yeah, we run this accelerator program that we just culminated here on this stage. But once a month, I'm in this living room with these incredible established business owners, and we do a few things. We start our mastermind with silence, which is kind of where I've learned to pick the practice up and value it, which was why I made you guys squirm a little bit for 60 seconds. We do it for 3 to 5 minutes every month, so try that. It's a lot of fun. It's really great. And then we do all kinds of different stuff, but one of the segments in there is this open coaching segment where someone kind of gets like a real business issue that they got going on, and they present it in a real clear fashion, and then there's like a methodology of kind of going through and say, let's see how we can help kind of surround and support and address this issue going on in this particular business owner's life. And last month in our group, the person who was getting open coached, it was awesome. It was just like 45 minutes of just killer content and coaching and directly like solving the problem that my friend Alex had. And we get done, we're getting ready to go to tacos. And before we go, Kevin, our leader, goes, hey, just before we break for tacos, Alex, I just want to know, like, was that helpful? And Alex was like, dude, are you kidding me? He's like, that's like the best 45 minutes that I've ever spent like on my business. Like I'm working in my business all the time. Like I'm a small business owner. Like I'm there. Like I'm on site. I'm running this thing. I'm running the teams. I'm doing the systems. I'm doing the bookkeeping. I'm like doing the marketing. I'm doing ads. I'm doing all this kind of stuff. I'm answering the phone. I'm at the front door. Like I never get to work on my business. And I'll be honest, 4.5 hours ago at the beginning of this meeting, when we sat in silence for 3 minutes, there was a small little voice in my head saying, don't do it, Alex. Don't be vulnerable with these guys. Don't be real. Don't be authentic. Don't share this thing that you need clarity around in your life. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to think that you're not serious as a business owner. They're not going to take you serious. They're going to think, wow, he doesn't even value his business if he's got this little thing that he can't figure out. Why is he bringing that to us? And he's like, and I just knew, like, that's a lie. Like, that's the voice of a liar. That is not truth, because I have evidence of sitting in this living room for the last several months knowing that this would be handled with love and that you guys would actually bring immense value. And it turns out there was someone in our group who's literally an expert in the very thing that Alex needed solved. And it was like this really cool thing to watch unfold. It was just incredible how much help and support he was able to get just by being authentic and by being real. So as Alex is wrapping up and he's saying, man, yeah, it was awesome. He goes, you guys, you gave me the strength, you gave me the ability because you created this space for me to like beat back the devil in my entrepreneurial journey, to like slam the door on that lie. And he's like, I can't imagine what it'd be like to be an entrepreneur and not have that, except for several years, I was an entrepreneur who did not have that because I just joined this group a few months ago. And he was just like, man, I'm so glad I'm in this environment. And I'm sitting there across the circle, and I'm just beaming, right, inside and outside probably, because I'm like, this is why we do what we do, right? Like, I want I want like a lot more entrepreneurs with confidence to be able to say, dude, I was able to beat back the devil. I was able to slam the door on lies because I was in a space, because an environment was created for me in a 17-week program or in a 9-week program or a 4-week thing or in a one-night unpolished event or at a demo day or an event that I went to or at a mastermind or whatever's going on, right? That there would be more spaces created, more environments where entrepreneurs get to go like, oh man, I have so much confidence that I can bring the real thing, I can take the mask down, I can bring the issue, and I can get quality support. And here's the thing. We're almost 10 years old at OCEAN. We've been doing that work for 9.5 years. And I've been here for 6.5 of those years, kind of came in year 3, and I absolutely love this work. And I can't wait for the next decade, because we're gonna do it in more places. We're gonna do it in bigger ways. We're gonna be more bold with the message. We're gonna start to show up in new cities and in new digital contexts. We're gonna start to offer new kind of tools and programs and frameworks for entrepreneurial leaders to understand that like there's a healthy, consistently strong and faithful community here in an environment, in a space where you can show up to and launch and lead and scale a business and do it with your whole self and do it with your humanity intact and do it with your core relationships intact and do it in a way that you flourish. And in this next decade, I just can't wait for what we're gonna unveil in the months ahead and what's gonna be true. And for us to do that, I gotta be super honest, we're going to a new level as an organization. Like I'm going to a new level as a leader, and I'm inviting other people to come lead alongside me to help me go to a new level, help this organization get to a new level, right? And financially, we're going to a new level. OCEAN is a nonprofit. I don't know, people may know this, people may not know this. There's a lot of misnomer about what people might think is true. Here's the deal. We're a nonprofit with a fairly meager budget that by God's grace has been around for 9.5 years, creating consistently quality, incredible environments like the ones you've experienced today and heard about a little bit from me here. We're creating the outcomes like you heard Christy share on stage. We're creating real value in the world. And man, we're inviting more people to come in and join us and help accelerate OCEAN so that we can help more founders experience those kind of spaces. So there's gonna be a slide, they're gonna find it. It's this one that has a QR code and it says, get involved, and it says donate. And here's the deal, donate can mean a lot of things to you. Someone told me recently, someone I deeply respect, he said, Luke, I bet you're really good at vision and really bad at challenge. And I was like, how do you know why I'm such a bad fundraiser? He might be the pastor of a really large church in Cincinnati that we love a lot. And he just said, dude, you gotta make people squirm. You gotta put that vision out there, and you gotta look some people in the eye and say, dude, sure, if 25 bucks a month or 50 bucks a month is what you're doing, do that. But here's the deal. I'm going to a partner tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and I'm asking them for $1 million. Like, I'm trying to raise several $1 million for this work so that we can scale it in ways that will redefine the narrative of entrepreneurship, that will redefine what people think about when they think about this journey and how they imagine their lives. Why are we letting culture at large and the world define success, right? Because they're saying, this is what success looks like. It's magazine covers and fancy cars and big exits and certain outcomes, and do whatever it takes, and no matter what, it's always worth it if you get that thing. And we're over here going, I don't know. If that's the prevailing model, we think there's this like against the current model, right? We follow this guy Jesus, and in Matthew, the book of Matthew, he says, what good would it do you to gain the whole world and lose your soul? And emphatically, over and over and over again, with every environment we create, we say, it will do you no good, so don't do it. So surround yourself with good people, be authentic and real, lock in for the journey, and understand that there's a more sustainable, healthy way to do it. And if you're sitting here, you're like, goodness gracious, that's great. Here's what I've had for the most of the 6 years I've been doing this work. I've had a lot of people coming up and say, I love what you guys do. I've had a lot of people slapping me and Christy on the back and James and saying, keep going. It's so cool. I wish you were around when I started. I've heard that more times than I can count. I need some people to step up and to write some checks and to give some regular, ongoing philanthropic support that helps OCEAN redefine the entrepreneurial narrative, period. In this country, in this world, I don't know where it's going to go. It's bigger than I can believe, but I know it matters, and I know we have to get to this new place. So I just invite you to join us on that journey. I would not invite you to do that and then not invite you to beer and charcuterie boards and wine and all kinds of fun in the courtyard afterwards. So now I'm done, and I invite you to just stand up, give a big round of applause, and join us for happy hour.